Kevin Clark, 453 Bryan Street. I would like to also reiterate my support for the move to amend petition. Corporations, it seems to me, aren't people. All kinds of jokes now about if corporations are people, then they should be able to do this and that, like go to jail and so forth. And money's not speech. And I think that's also, in my opinion, not a function of money, and a strange ruling by the Supreme Court. And we have gathered lots of signatures. I've been out of town in Southern California for 3 weeks, and I'm not sure how many signatures have been gathered at this time. I'll just say one quick thing. I went to a conference on money creation while I was in Southern California. And there's a difference between lent money and spent money. And I taught economics and government my last 8 years in high school. And I taught about a lot of things that were not traditional, but I taught about the Federal Reserve and the fractional increase in money and so forth, but I never taught the difference between lent money and spent money, and all we have is lent money, and it's borrowed, and it's created de novo on the books, and then it requires interest, but the principal is created, but the interest is not created. So it requires competition among borrowers to get that interest, which means it's a zero-sum game unless you make more loans. And if you make more loans, then the principal from those future loans can pay back the principal of pay back the interest on the borrowed money, and so it requires an increase in growth in the economy. The interest requires, but if the government just prints money and spends it, then and doesn't borrow it, and it has the power to do that, then the money is injected into the economy, and it's spent by the government, not lent and not borrowed, and it's not debt money. And so I was meeting with there was Ellen Brown and who wrote Web of Debt, and Josh Farley, who's an ecological economist. There were groups of these people talking together, so I learned a lot more. But it has a connection. I think you can see the money issue has a connection. The money is not speech, and corporations aren't people. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. We have time for one more. If someone would like to comment this morning.
I forgot one thing.
I'm sorry, you can only speak once.
Oh, okay.